Hi, my name's Dan Jones. I'm the owner of Carolina Real Estate Experts and the Dan Jones Group. And I want to say thank you for watching the video and our question and answer session today about purchasing a house. And then also thank you for trusting us to get you the best terms and conditions on your new home and getting you to the closing table. So first thing I wanted to explain to you and go over with you is we're going to have a conference call with our closing coordinator, Gwen Yandel, and your agent, and you and your spouse, for example, or any other parties involved with buying the home. That conference call is going to take place within a few days of going under contract, and we're going to review a lot of this information again with you. This information is going to help you save you a lot of time, and I'm sure you have tons of questions, so this should answer a lot of your questions. But first of all, if you haven't spoken to one of our in-house lenders, I would advise you, strongly suggest that you do talk to Brian Pierce, our he's with American Security Mortgage, and he tends to save our folks a lot of money, get you a better rate than most bigger banks, and closes on time and has stellar customer follow-up and just satisfaction. And we'll talk to you after hours as well. But give Brian a call. His information is below, and we'll get that process started for you. At least give him a shot to see if he can beat what you have potentially if you haven't spoken to him already. So in regards to your inspections, there are several inspections that we usually do. You have the ability to choose your own inspectors at any given moment. You can say, hey, Mr. Miss, agent would like to choose our own home inspector. That's perfectly okay. If you are like most of our clients, they do not have a home inspector that they've used before. So we have folks we've used for years. Same with attorneys, but you can feel free to choose your own attorney. We will get those scheduled, and we'll talk about dates when Gwen gives you a call to go over your conference call to go over these things. We will do a general inspection, and we also will do a termite inspection. Termite inspection is required by your lender, and you do have the ability to go ahead and order a radon inspection. Radon is a naturally occurring gas. It's everywhere. It's everywhere we breathe. There's certain areas around North Carolina and the country that it's a little bit stronger, radon in general, and it's more prevalent. But you can do one of those. Are usually $150 to $200. And then also, we recommend getting a survey. You don't have to. A lot of our folks don't, but we still like to recommend. So if you ever want to do a fence, you have the exact property lines. Not all sellers have a copy of a survey. Not all people buy those. So the first thing we need to do after our conference call and get an inspection scheduled is to get our earnest money deposit and our due diligence checks turned in. Okay, so your due diligence, once again, is a period of time, and your agents went over this with you, is a period of time that us as the buyers have the ability to terminate the contract. Okay, so once we terminate, go forward the contract and go over that due diligence period, you will lose your earnest money if we do not terminate. Okay, so those are due diligence and your earnest money, but the checks associated with those, we will need to get those to the attorney. Will receive the earnest money, and we'll let you know who that needs to be made out to and where it needs to go. And your due diligence check more than likely will be mailed directly to the seller, but we will confirm that with you and get the amount over to you. So once the inspections are done, we will do a repair request. It's called a due diligence repair request. We'll send that over to the sellers. As you already know, the sellers do not have to make any repairs to the property. The home is essentially sold as is. However, we're requesting for the property to have some repairs. Most sellers will do some repairs. Maybe not all, but most do some repairs. So once we agree on that, we will sign off on the due diligence request saying that we all agree on that. During this process, your lender is going to be ordering the appraisal. The appraisal will take 3 to 5 business days to come back. It seems that most of our appraisals over the last 2-3 years come in right at contract price. There's not too many. Even if you get a hell of a deal, let's say on a $300,000 house, and good and well it's worth $325, and your agent as well, the appraiser tends to go ahead and come in right at contract price. So the lender will order that. You don't have to do anything there. They will usually take a credit card up front. Same with the inspectors. The inspectors will hold a credit card up front. You can pay for your inspections up front. We highly encourage that you do. Go ahead and take care of that up front. The appraisal as well. Once we get those repairs made, we will check the repairs at our walkthrough. Our walkthrough usually happens a day, 2 days, 3 days before closing, unless there's a major repair like it needed a new roof, a new air conditioning system, whatever the case may be. But if it's just general repairs, we usually do those at the walkthrough, which happens a day or two before closing, and we'll coordinate that with you. Okay, and that's how we recheck the repairs. If you're getting a home warranty, you can feel free to get your own home warranty company. We have a really good home warranty company that we've been using for a long time and our clients have been really satisfied with. So we will order that in addition to all your inspections. So essentially, you don't have to do anything. You can be involved as much as you want to. Otherwise, your agent and Gwen will work together to get everything done and keep you in the loop in communication in regards to where we're at. So now as we're starting to get closer to the closing, we need to make sure how much money you need to bring to the closing table. More attorneys are requiring you now to go ahead and wire funds to them versus bringing certified checks. So if that's the case, you will need to get the wiring instructions and those will be sent over to you, and you need to get with your bank to make sure all that money can be wired over before closing. Okay? So that's our money to the attorney. If it's a smaller amount, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, some attorneys are allowing you to bring a certified check, which you can go to your local bank and they can get that for you. Okay. So once we get our closing statement, we'll get that usually a day before, 2 days before closing, sometimes a day of closing. We will go over everything with you. Your taxes you're going to be paying, your interest you're going to be paying, your home inspections, any sort of transaction fees, anything along those lines. We will go over with you, and the attorney will give us a copy of that. Sometimes it's a day or two before closing, sometimes it's a day of closing, but we will review that with you. So at this point, we're coming up to the closing table, and I want to kind of explain something in regards to keys. It's not always a guarantee, unfortunately, that you get your keys at closing. A lot of people are surprised. Don't be surprised if you do not. There's a lot of sellers that want to make sure that the home is recorded before you get your keys. And what that means is all the documents that you sign at closing, they want those taken to the courthouse and recorded. That's when the property is officially yours. So if you close on a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, well, the courthouse closes at 4:30, it's not going to record. You will not get your keys until the following Monday. And in regards to planning your close date, just remember, always have some flexibility. The lenders, especially if you're using an outside lender, outside lenders tend to close 2, 4, 10, 20 days late oftentimes versus using our in-house lender. They're about 97, 98% efficient when it comes to closing on time. But you must remember, be a little bit flexible when it comes to that. About the same time before closing, we will send you utility information. That information will be given to you probably a week before. There's no real reason to give it to you 2, 3, 4 weeks before, because your closing date could move up a day or two. It could move back a day or two, and it just kind of prevents you from calling the companies 2 and 3 times changing utility switchover dates. So we'll usually give that to you a week before closing. Make sure and get the utilities turned over in your name. Because last thing you want is you move in on a Friday and you have no power or no water to your home, and they can't get out until Monday. All right. So at the very end of all this, we hope you have a killer experience with us. We're a very aggressive group, going after repairs, going after pricing, especially with our lenders, getting you the best and cheapest money possible. We will ask you for a review, more than likely on Trulia or Zillow, of your agent, and we hope you take the time to do that. But once again, hopefully this video has been helpful. I think we've covered over everything, but if there's one thing I can stress to you enough is definitely reach out to our in-house lender with American Security Mortgage, Brian Pierce. There's a good chance he's going to save you monthly on your monthly payment, and probably $1,000, $2,000 at closing. A lot of people want to go with, quote, the bank they spoke to first. If that's the case and you want to pay potentially $1,000, $2,000 more, they do not have to pull your credit at American Security, but it's good to go over and have a different option as well. We will do the reviews, like I said, but once again, we really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, doing business with our company, and any referrals. We're never too busy for referral from a family member or a friend. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, you can reach out directly to your agent or Gwen here in the office. She's usually available from 9 to 4. But thanks again for doing business with us, and look forward to seeing you at one of our events through the company. Talk to you soon.